It was good for 2-3 months. Then the savings started going down. You're gonna just need a lot of skills basically that most of us, especially if we're young and this is our first time trying to do something like this, these are skills we just don't have. I'm just gonna keep it real and get really specific. Like, I was like, nah, I don't want to work for someone. I just want to work for myself. I just wanna do my own thing, and like, I just know I can do it. I'm just that guy. I just thought like it can't be that hard. I was so wrong. This is probably one of the hardest things you can try to take on in your life. If you're trying to do it to a certain level where you can make a living off of it, it's probably harder than maintaining a 9-to-5 job. I'll be so real. Okay, welcome back, people. This is going to be a different kind of episode. Today, I'm going to be talking about some more serious stuff. Not too serious, but like, yeah, today I'm going to be talking about some real life shit. Like, just stuff that I feel like a lot of us trying to chase our creative dreams go through. And I'm hoping I'm just going to put out a lot of advice that might help people going through the same things on their journey. First of all, why am I wearing this shirt? Okay, I'm just going to explain that quickly. This is just to emphasize that this channel is going to be going in a certain direction. The purpose of this channel is to empower other people trying to chase their creative dreams and people, who just want to be creative in general. And as much as I like to make the entertaining, controversial videos, I feel like it's time I start rededicating some more focus to the initial vision behind the channel, which is to empower creatives, which kind of links to the topic that I'm trying to be discussing in this video. And that's the truth about quitting your 9-to-5 job to chase your dreams. First of all, I know some people are probably thinking like, why is this guy even giving advice on chasing your dreams when, I haven't technically achieved my dreams. I haven't necessarily like succeeded in all the things I'm trying to accomplish with my creative endeavors. But one thing I realized is that you don't necessarily have to have become famous or properly made it. You don't necessarily have to have become what mainstream society sees as a success before you can give advice that might help other people, because there's still a lot of important things that you might have learned in your own personal journey towards success that can still help other people. And another thing is, what even is success? I feel like it's different for everyone. For some people, success might literally just be doing that thing that you've always dreamt of doing. So basically, I don't really care. I'm just going to start giving advice, and it's going to help me be more consistent with these videos I'm trying to make. I also feel like it's going to help me document my journey as well and make me think about things that I've learned along the way. Oh yeah, before I forget, if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment and subscribe to this channel. There's going to be more content like this coming every week, and we're still going to be making the entertaining content like the skits and the podcasts with a few more motivational videos like this as well. Anyways, back to the main topic of this video, the truth about quitting your job or your 9-to-5 to chase your creative dreams, or any kind of dreams, or maybe quitting your job to start a business, whatever you're trying to do. There's a lot of stuff on the internet out there right now that's gonna advise you to quit your job and just go full speed ahead, full time into whatever your passion is. And I'm not saying I don't agree with that kind of stuff. I do agree it's good to at some point take a leap of faith, or that huge step towards like creating the life you actually want to live, a life that you're actually gonna find fulfilling and stuff like that. But when it comes to this specific idea of all of a sudden just quitting your job to chase your dreams, I feel like a lot of these videos out there that might encourage you to do that make it seem more simple than it actually is. And there's a lot of things you probably want to think about before you make such a significant decision like that. I feel like I'm quite qualified to talk on this topic as well, because I'm actually one of those people who at some point did that. And I wasn't that deep because I did this straight after uni. So I literally just graduated and had a grad job lined up. It was my first job after uni. So it wasn't that deep because I was still living with my family. I still am, to be honest. And I didn't really have that many things I'm paying for. I wasn't paying for my own place. I wasn't paying for like a car or anything. And I didn't have to worry too much about paying bills, paying for shopping and stuff like that. In spite of all that, like, I'm in a situation where, you know, it doesn't really matter if I'm maintaining a full-time 9 to 5 job, just because of the stage of life that I'm at where I don't really have that many responsibilities. After I actually quit my job to try to chase my dreams, it was a huge reality check. I'll say that. There was a lot of things I learned and deeped about life that I feel like it's important for other people to realize if they're thinking about making the same kind of decision. Now, there's loads of different things I could talk about when it comes to this issue, but I feel like there's just a few main points that I want to definitely get across in this video. The first one being, if you're trying to chase your creative dreams or start a business or anything, if you're just trying to create a life where you're living on your own terms and you're actually just doing something that you're passionate about full time for the rest of your life, you're going to need money. In this life, you're going to need money. If you're not getting a stable source of income from anything, like, you're going to have a hard life, realistically. And I feel like that's something I suffered. And obviously, I know some people are thinking maybe that if they quit their job and they start doing their business full time, that obviously that's going to be what's bringing them money. See, the problem with that is, and this is the problem for a lot of young people, and like, I'm definitely guilty of this. You probably think, oh yes, it can't be that hard. Like, I feel like this is the problem a lot of us who grew up with the internet have. We've seen a lot of young people go on YouTube, go on all these social media platforms and start all these cool creative businesses. A lot of people living off, like, doing all these different kinds of fun things, whether that's streaming or like TikTok videos or whatever, people becoming influencers and stuff like that, people starting all these e-commerce online businesses and whatever. And it makes it seem like it's so easy to do that. And it's just not. And I feel like that's a big problem that people need to be aware of if that's what's guiding them to want to quit their job to chase their creative dreams. It's going to be hard. It's going to be one of the hardest things you try to do, especially if you're trying to do it properly and make like a serious living off of it to the point where you might not have to ever go back to a 9 to 5 job again. To make money off that consistent enough for you to still have a decent life outside of that, whatever that passion is, you're going to have to be built different. You're going to have to be extremely disciplined and you're going to have to be business savvy. You're going to just need a lot of skills, basically, that most of us, especially if we're young, and this is our first time trying to do something like this, these are skills we just don't have. These are skills we literally just haven't lived long enough to possess. And this is why I kind of advocate for people not jumping straight into quitting their 9 to 5 to do their dreams or their creative business, whatever it is, full time. I honestly think for a lot of us, it's better we just try to do both. For now anyways, or when you're just starting out, I think it's better you just do both and you take the time to learn. That's another thing. People want to reap the benefits of being able to make a living off their passion or their dreams. People want that to happen almost overnight. People want that to happen like so quickly, but it's just unrealistic. It could take years. It could literally take maybe a decade for you to get to a point where you're actually making enough money from your dreams and you're doing it at a level where it could sustain you and maybe your family, if you want a family in the future, whatever things you want to obtain in the future, maybe a mortgage, a nice car, whatever, to get to a point or a level where you're making enough money to do that and do that sustainably and still have like a good social life and all these other important things outside of it. You're going to have to be the best in the game. You're going to have to be one of the best at what you're doing. And it's like, this is something that people don't really explain when they make all these videos about it and post it on TikTok or YouTube. More time just to get views. And that's another thing that I really want to make clear, like, especially for people who are a bit younger, like younger than me. I think when I was that age and when I was like young, I'm 22 now. When I was younger than this, I was watching all these kind of videos that kind of inspired me to be this way and want to, you know, live life on my own terms and not have to work for someone else. I never realized that a lot of these people making all these videos, they're literally, some of them are actually giving good advice and do want to help people, but a big priority for why they're making this content is to get views, so they can maintain their lifestyle and make a living off of you watching their stuff. And that's something you always have to bear in mind with these content creators. And I'm saying that now because as I've gotten more into content creation, I realize the main goal is to get views so you can eventually not have to do a job to maintain content creation. And it's like, when you realize that, you kind of know you got to take everything you see on the internet with a pinch of salt and realize that even though they might not necessarily be lying to you and the things they might be saying are true, they might paint things in a way to make you just feel more inclined to watch their stuff, but it might not necessarily be the full truth. And because of that, you might make decisions based on what you've watched that can put you in a sticky situation that you never really planned for. For example, I'm just going to keep it real and get really specific. Like, so after 3 months after doing my first grad job after uni, I was like, nah, I don't want to work for someone. I just want to work for myself. I just want to do my own thing. And like, I just know I can do it. I'm just that guy. I just thought like, it can't be that hard. Like, I've patterned everything quite well in education up till now. Do you know what I mean? I kind of felt like, you know, if I can do well in school and stuff like that, what's a business or what's trying to make money off making videos on the internet? It can't be that hard, right? I was so wrong. This is probably one of the hardest things you can try to take on in your life. If you're trying to do it to a certain level where you can make a living off of it, it's probably harder than maintaining a 9-to-5 job. I'll be so real. So that's another thing to think about. If you're kind of like working your 9-to-5 job right now and you feel like part of the reason why you don't want to do it anymore is because it's kind of stressful for you and it's like you feel like you don't have enough time to enjoy life. What you don't realize is it's going to be a lot worse when you try to pursue content creation full time. It's not a 9-to-5, it's a full-time job. Like, you're literally going to have to be focused and working on that 24/7. And it's like, if you don't like the idea of having a boss telling you what to do, another thing you got to realize is if you're trying to do content creation, for example, this applies to any business though, but I feel like a lot of people these days are trying to make a business off the internet, which is going to involve some sort of content creation, even if you're just doing some kind of e-commerce thing. What you don't realize is like, you're not just now going to have to deal with one boss. You're essentially potentially going to be dealing with multiple bosses. Every single viewer you're trying to maintain watching your videos and trying to keep subscribed is essentially your boss. So if you don't like the idea of one person telling you what to do, you're gonna struggle with trying to do the business thing, in my opinion, because now you're dealing with all your customers telling you what to do. You have to please every single one of them. And it's like, again, it's just another thing that people don't think about that I feel like is so important to be aware of. I think the main thing I'm trying to get at with this video is it's important to really evaluate your reasons for why you're trying to do this. You got to really have a solid reason why that makes sense. For example, I feel like if you're just trying to quit your job because you don't like your boss or you don't like being told what to do, like I don't think that's a good reason to quit. Now, I feel like I've said quite a lot of negative things about quitting your job to chase your dreams. I'm not completely against it. Like, I did it, and I feel like a lot of the things I've learned that have kind of helped me on my journey so far, and I'm literally just at the start of my journey, I'll be honest, but a lot of the things I've learned literally came from making that decision. So in a way, I do think it can be quite beneficial to take such big risks like that and make mistakes and learn from them. And now, I'll be real, there is kind of things I admire about the idea of people who do quit their job to chase their dreams full time, because I think it does show like a serious level of dedication towards making your dreams come true and become a reality. And that's important. You do, at the end of the day, you've got to be all in if you want to go all the way with whatever it is that's your dream and whatever it is that you're trying to do. You have to be ready to make the necessary sacrifices that are going to be required to go all the way with it. So I get how drastic actions like quitting your job can be a sign that you're serious about whatever it is that you're trying to do. I just feel like it comes down to this idea that a lot of people say, when people say you just got to work smarter, not harder. And I think for a lot of people who are, I guess, like at my stage where you're young, you still got a lot to learn with, whatever it is that your dreams entail, whether that's growing a business or content creation, whatever kind of thing. Like my channel's is more going to be directed to people trying to chase dreams in like a creative field or whatever. I just feel like not enough people just talk about the value of just trying to do both. And that's, I think, one of the best things you can do at this stage of the journey. I feel like doing both, like maintaining a 9 to 5 job whilst trying to chase your dreams, can be one of the best things you do in this journey. Because more time, when you're trying to chase your dreams and make that your full-time source of income, your full-time living, whatever, it's a full-time job. Like it's going to be 24/7. Like you're going to deal with probably the most amounts of stress and pressure that you've ever had to deal with in your life. So if you get to a point where you're kind of maintaining a 9 to 5 job and you're still being consistent with growing your business and you're still being consistent with content creation, you're more likely going to be in a position where you've got the discipline, the organization, the time management. You've got the necessary skills you're going to need to go all the way with it if you can do both. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Like I went back into it. That's even another thing I got to mention. I never actually explained what exactly happened after I quit my job to chase my dreams full time. It was calm for the first I'd say first like 2-3 months. Like I saved up quite a bit for my grad job. So I was kind of chilling. Like I had all the hours in the day to myself. I used a lot of that time to be quite consistent, come up with new ideas, and it was good for 2-3 months. Then the savings started going down, and that's when shit started going downhill. Now I was panicking, and that's another thing. If you want to do well and grow in a business or content creation, if you're whatever you're trying to do, that's compelling you to quit your job, if you're trying to do well in that, you don't want to be in a situation of desperation. You don't want to be acting on desperation. You're going to make bad decisions and they're going to impact the quality of whatever it is that you're trying to do. The best way to make better decisions for your business or for your dreams or for your future is to be in a comfortable state of mind. And you're not going to be comfortable if you're running out of money. And like at some point you're going to have to do whatever it takes to be making money again. And that's what happened to me. Like I at some point realized I need a job. I'll be so real. I feel like 9 times out of 10 people that quit their job to try to chase their dreams full time and they're quite inexperienced with whatever business they're trying to do, at some point you're going to end up having to get a job again. And that's fine. That's character building, that's humbling. And I feel like it's important to go through those kind of experiences. You learn a lot. But just to be very specific, like I graduated from quite a top university. And after I made this decision to quit my first grad job, I ended up having to work in a warehouse again. And I'm not even throwing shade on like warehouse workers, but I remember there were so many times when I was a student and there was times I had to do all these different kind of odd jobs, working in bars, warehouses and stuff like that. I hated those jobs so much. And I always told myself after I graduate, I'm never going to have to do these jobs again. I'm never going back. And then I just found myself right back at a warehouse. And it was probably worse than I'd ever experienced it before. This time I had to work in a freezer. I was working in the freezer section of a warehouse. It started at 6 a.m. I had to be up at 4 a.m. and I didn't want to do it, but I had no choice because I ran out of money. You're barely going to see anyone tell you about this kind of experiences in their journey. Like at some point you might run out of money if you think you're just going to make it by going all in without having a solid plan. And maybe that's just me, like, not planning well, and maybe, you might be different. You might have a fully thought out plan. But to be honest, I'll be so real. I don't think your plan can even be that good if you're like, you're just new to life. Like if you're like this young, like good businesses take years to be established, and it's going to require a lot of skill and a lot of life experience to be able to maintain that long enough for you to not ever end up back in a warehouse, for example. So that's just something I wanted to put out there as well. But yeah, moral of the story is like, listen, you got to realize if this doesn't work out, you're going to end up broke. And you don't want to be broke. You already know why that's going to be a problematic situation to find yourself in. But yeah, I honestly think, listen, one of the best things you can try to do is to build the discipline and skills that you're going to need to actually make it, and whatever it is that you're passionate about doing, is you're going to need to be able to do both. If you can do both, if you can maintain a 9 to 5 job and make progress towards chasing your dreams, compared to most people, you're gonna be more likely to succeed. You're gonna have to become seriously on job to be able to maintain that for a long time. Do you know what I mean? So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Yes, it might not be great that you're gonna have to give away like 40 hours a week to someone else's dream, someone else's company. But at the end of the day, you're gonna get skills and life experiences that are gonna help you in your own future. So I honestly think, don't knock trying to do both. Like, it is very character building, and it can help you a lot to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And it's like, listen, at the end of the day, life is short. I get why people would quit their job to chase their dreams. Like, I've literally done it. Like, I understand. And it's like, I do think it's important at some point to go all in. Like, I do think at some point maybe you should quit your job. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think you should rush into that kind of decision. Okay, that's the time. I mean, I got to end this video soon. But yeah, like I'm saying, I just don't think that's the type of decision you want to rush into. I think, like I said before, it's important to work smarter, not harder. Really plan out like your approach to making your dreams of, maybe growing a business or doing content creation full time. You got to really think it through and make sure you know what you're doing, and make sure you're ready to take on that challenge. It will be probably one of the most challenging things that you do in your life. So yeah, I just feel like I want to make this video for anyone else who maybe is at this point in their life thinking about whether they should quit their job or try to do their job and do their dreams on the side. I honestly say, try to do both, and you're going to learn a lot from that. That's going to take you far, in my opinion. So yeah, if you like this video, let me know. Make sure to give this video a like, comment what you think, or if you can relate to this, or if you've had any experiences with this. And yeah, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Obviously going to be still coming with the entertaining content like the skits and the podcasts and stuff. But yeah, I think I want to start making more videos with substance like this as well, just to let people know like what's going on behind the scenes, if that makes sense. But yeah, thank you for watching. A bit.